Hello and welcome. My name is Matthew Esposito, and today we're going to go over a guide to the Certified Public Accountant. The role of a CPA is the first subject we'll touch on. Next, finding the right CPA, and then last, how a CPA can help run your business. So I believe there's a lot of confusion in the roles of a bookkeeper versus a certified public accountant. So I'm just going to touch on the definitions of each, and then we'll kind of go over a little bit more in depth about what each does. So a bookkeeper's role is defined as keeping financial records for small businesses or companies. Unlike accountants, they are employed by one company and perform most or all of the financial bookkeeping for the business. They must stay informed of employee work hours, sales, expenditures, payments, and billable hours to ensure that the financial ledgers are accurate and the company is profitable. A certified public accountant's role is defined as performing financial functions related to the collection, accuracy, and recording, analysis, and presentation of a business, organization, or company's financial operations. Now, notice that both of these roles can overlap, and most often bookkeepers and CPAs are one and the same. So a CPA can work as the company's bookkeeper and maybe is referred to as such when in fact they are a certified public accountant. The difference being bookkeepers don't always have to have the same regulations as far as education as CPAs do. So both bookkeepers and CPAs can work individually with a business to achieve similar solutions. However, CPAs can also work independently with many different institutions, say for a firm that works with companies, while a bookkeeper is typically employed by the company it is working for. CPAs' roles are often as follows. They maintain and audit company financial records. They oversee budget and financial management. They perform duties related to bookkeeping, preparation of government audits, taxes, and financial planning. They recommend fiscally advantageous methods to save money. They can work with tax returns and analyze financial information to ensure taxes are paid on time. They audit accounts for errors, misinformation, fraud, and overspending. Report financial information to management. They create and analyze budgets, advise management on tax ramifications of business decisions, act as a consultant in areas such as compensation, benefits, and asset protection, oversee accounts payable and receivable, forecast revenue and analyze ledgers, identify and investigate variances, and also participate in strategic planning, fraud prevention, and budget development. Now that long and very wordy list should serve as a symbol of how much a CPA and or bookkeeper can do for your business and will do often as part of their role. So next, let's talk about finding the right CPA. The quote reads, "It all depends on the size of the company. If you're a small business owner and find yourself sitting in front of QuickBooks wondering where to begin, that's a good indication that it's time to find someone knowledgeable," said Mark Cozzoli, Director of Specialized Communities and Firm Practice Management for the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. This just touches on if you should get an accounting firm or an inside accountant. And like we just said in the quote above, often if you're realizing it's time because you're the one doing everything as an entrepreneur, most often it is best to go ahead and hire a professional with a degree to help out in the many forms that we've seen earlier in that list. So an accounting firm usually handles the following accounting functions: tax return preparation, preparing financial statements including the balance sheet, income statement, and statement of cash, analysis or problem-solving advice. As a good first step for a venture in the growth stage, hiring an outside accountant or accounting firm on a consulting basis can often cost less than the salary and benefits of a full-time employee. It is fair to say with an outside CPA or firm, you're most likely, and should request, getting a licensed CPA and a lawyer specializing in tax law. Often, a CPA does specialize in tax law and or can be a lawyer in that respect. Inside accountants usually handle the following accounting functions: general ledger chart of account maintenance, responsibility for daily transactions, financial statement preparation and analysis, cost accounting and variance analysis, treasury and cash management, including bank reconciliations, payroll, and fixed asset accounting. As a business venture grows in revenue, typically transactions become more complicated as well. More complications and increasing revenue warrant the consideration for hiring a full or part-time inside accountant. A business may actually incur cost savings by bringing some of the accounting work in-house, as most fees for CPAs and firms grow with the size of the business. So it looks like it makes more sense when starting up or with a smaller business to go with an accounting firm or an outside accountant, more of a consultation basis. But as the business grows and the complexity grows, it's definitely worth a look to hire someone in-house, at least part-time. Choosing the right CPA, whether in-house or at an accounting firm, it normally boils down to some very simple resources to tap while searching. First, certifications. A CPA has an undergraduate degree and has met the exam and experience requirements for state certification. A CPA must take continuing education courses to remain certified and licensed. So with certifications, it's obviously important to be researching into the background of the individual you're speaking to and or the accounting firm to make sure that everyone who will be touching your accounts is certified, continues to stay certified, and has the proper education background. Next, it sounds like common sense, but it is very important, references. You can gain references from things like your own industry trade association. Depending on what your industry is, you may be able to link up with associations or clubs within the industry and kind of share knowledge and request if anyone's worked with an individual who specifically knows about your industry. Friends, so business friends, colleagues, and other business attorneys, etc. So often for your company, you'll work with a banker and a business attorney, and so those are all also good resources for references for who you should use for your accounting. Next, look for industry experience. Now, they don't have to be experience in your extremely specific niche, because often the point of your business is that you have kind of your own niche that makes you a little different. But if you are noticing your e-commerce and retail, then often it's good to look for a CPA who specializes in retail and e-commerce. Lastly, interview. Complete your due diligence, reference checks, spend times with firms or individuals. So what we mean by that is it can never be understated that you should meet them in person, go out to lunch, really get to know who you're going to be working with. And we'll go over this in a little bit more in a minute, but this relationship is extremely important and is very personal. And so getting to know both the firm or the individual that you'll be working with is a huge step in deciding who will be the right candidate. So how a CPA can help. So like I said, the main idea to come away with for working with a CPA is how the work will be done together in a partnership of understanding and trust. The right accountant can help a business with not only tax returns, but with longer-term tax planning, business planning, networking, even personal tax planning if you're still the major stakeholder in your business. Often for startups and entrepreneurs, you are. With the research I have done, it cannot be stressed enough how important it is to develop close relationships with your CPA, attorney, etc., making sure they completely understand your business and your goals for it, and trust them to help you attain those goals. And the reason I'm stressing so much about this connection and partnership with CPA is that they will be involved in every minutia of the finances within your company. So it is extremely important that you, one, agree on the role and the goals of the company, and two, that you trust them to be handling all of these financials. There are some extra qualifications that are worth mentioning with how a CPA can help. If you look into specifically regarding CPAs that are experts as management within a business, those are called certified management accountants. And they are trained to meet the demands of today's accounting requirements in addition to participating on the company's management team. So the first thing that would come to mind is usually a CFO is probably started or been involved in some type of certified management accountancy programs before, which involves them helping manage and lead the company, as well as doing the accountant work. As with the CPA or CMA, must pass an exam, have business experience, and obtain continuing education credits. In young growing companies, particularly, owners want an accountant who can help them manage financial business performance and have responsibility for the internal function. There are additional designations that some CPAs have that's also worth mentioning, including accredited in business valuation, certified valuation analyst, and personal financial specialist, among others. So I hope that's given you a very good broad definition of CPAs and how they can help and how to find the right one. Thanks for joining me.